Hello and welcome to the show. Apologies for the noise in the background, as usual. Okay, so recently my friend's mother passed on, and because of my previous experience with event photography and video, she reached out to me and she said I should help her find some folks who help, cover the photo and the video. That's both in Abuja and also in the East. So I put out a couple of messages to people in my network looking for photographers and video people based in Imo State who could provide drone and live streaming services. Now, my advice to her, and of course, by extension to the other families, was, I haven't been in the business for a while, so just from random gesture, I just told them, look, you guys be prepared or just hold like 700k to 900k to cover for the four services that we had discussed. That was just me giving her a random figure. Let her just hold her, because like I said, I'm no longer in the business, so I'm not sure what boys are charging these days. But I figured for the emo end, that's for live streaming, for photo, for video with what's it called, photo book and a couple of other things. I just figured 700k, 900k, sure. Anyway, so she came back later on saying that, look, bro, to be honest, my budget was 350. Me too. I told her like, babe, it's been a while now. It's been a long time since I heard that people were charging 350. So I think that budget is unrealistic, given the state of the economy and the market. I know some of you are wondering, now, where is all this story heading? I'll get there in a little bit. Just follow me. But I promise we're going to get into, or rather, I'm going to show how all this ties into how we handle our sales processes and how we can make effective presentations. Let me just put it that way. So anyway, so I told her, like, it's been a while. At 350, I don't think it will work. You know how the economy is. You yourself, you've entered the market and you've been hearing what people have been saying. But so let me just let other people know that I've been talking with. So before then, I had been talking with 4 people. So the other people, when I told them that, look, this is what my friend is saying, 2 people, they just faded sharp from the conversation. Now, by the way, I hope you guys can see that this is the reason why when you're in a sales situation, it helps to bring up bracketing or budgeting early. It's a way of qualifying people so that you know who it is that you're dealing with and whether you ought to invest time and resources and, trying to build a relationship with this person. So I gave her a bracket, just hold like 700 to 900. Based on the conversation I was having with other people and based on my gut feel, I figured 700 to 900 will cut it. Once I told the other people that, look, this is what she said, immediately 2 of them fade because they know that, look, this thing is not worth our while. Because if your lowest package is 700 grand and somebody is saying that they are 350, that's half. To take somebody from 350 up to 700 is too much long story. And in my own experience, it's not possible. It's just not possible. If somebody has decided they're a 350k person and they think that the money is justifiable, there's no how you can get them to double their budget. So 2 of them faded. And this is the reason why, please, when you're having conversations with people, bring money up early and use a range or use a bracket so you don't have to commit yourself. But the most important thing is, based on the way that they respond, you now know, okay, this is who I'm dealing with. So if you say 700 to 900 and the person says 700, kite, that thing is high, Sha. Are you sure they won't be able to collect like 600, 650? Now, that kind of place, that kind of scenario, you now know that there's room because the gap between 600 and 700 is just 100k. You might be able to get somebody to move up and down, 50k, 80k, 30k, that kind of thing. So always give a range, always bracket. It is not a bad way to start the conversation. It also gives you a sense of who it is that you're dealing with. So I guess that's business lesson number 1. So the remaining 2 people that I was talking to now, because remember I said I was talking to 4 people based in Imo. Then the other 2 people say, well, you know what? If you can get them to move from that 350 up to 500k, and then we remove live streaming, let's see if we can make something happen. So I said, okay, no, Allah. So no, I got back to my friend. I told her, okay, look, the people that I'm talking to in the East, this is what they're saying, live streaming. Let's remove live streaming. Then the remaining one, photo, video, and they'll manage. The book will be maybe like 10 inches, a 10-inch book. If you can come up, let's see what proposals they can come up with. So the remaining two people, that's what they said. So I now told them, now look, please shoot me a proposal based on this 500K that you guys are saying. Let you and me, let's look at this thing. Let's see whether the thing can work. Because, since I have some experience, I used to be in the business. I know what's a good deal. I mean, what's doable. From a technical standpoint, I know what's doable and what's not doable. Like there's some people who say, oh, I just hired a video guy. It's only going to be one video guy, only one camera. But, since I used to be in the business, I can say, the event is going to be in so, and so. And you want this guy to show up with only one camera. And you think that this is going to be a good job. So from my technical background, I know what kind of job, is a 1-camera shoot or a 3-camera shoot or a 5-camera shoot. It depends. So I just wanted to see the proposal. And I told them that once between you and me, the proposal is okay, I'll now connect you direct to this, my friend. So you guys will be talking with the family and you guys will handle it from there. So that's what I did. Now, one person sent me a standard price list. He didn't send me something that is tailor-made. Because remember, what we're talking about now is not something that is a standard something. We're talking about tailor-making a package. Yeah, let me just put it that way. So he didn't send me something tailor-made. He sent me a standard something. And now, I am not advocating that you guys should abandon your pricing policy. Because definitely, we all guys have a pricing policy in our businesses. Now look, if I'm going to deliver, okay, like for caterers, for instance, if it's going to be continental something, rice and shrimps and this and this and that, it has to be between 1,005 per plate and 2,005 per plate. If it is local, continental something, so we all need to have that kind of thing. So definitely, I'm not saying we should abandon it. And I would never, ever advocate that you lower your standard for customers or lower your price for customers, because it can end up being a hassle and sometimes the prices are not going to be worth it. In fact, what I've recommended on the podcast time and time again is that, you're negotiating with someone and, they want you to drop the price low. I've always recommended that, look, we don't make unprincipled concessions because we're professional salespeople. Unprincipled concession just means somebody asks you to do something to drop for them. They now just drop like that. No. If you're dropping something on your own end, you also guys get the person to drop something on the other end. So that's how it works. So like in this case, when we went from 700 to between 700 and 900 and dropped to 500, the principal concession in this case was, well, no problem. If we're moving live streaming, let's see what we can work with at 500. So that's how it works. So I'm not saying that abandon your pricing policies. But the thing that I want to point out, because working with these people have just made me realize another reason why I set up this podcast. Because a lot of people in my constituency, photo people, video people, cake makers, caterers, because I came from the events background. So a lot of people in my constituency, they don't realize the importance of having a sales process. A lot of them just have pricing sheets, all these sorts of things that the design is nice. As in, if you really want to see how pricing sheets to be designed, come and check people in the event industry, especially people in Lagos and Abuja, very good with packaging, design the PDF very well. Come and use cursive, use embossing, use, all the gishbao price list, as in looking very sweet. And so a lot of people expect these wonderfully prepared documents to do the selling for them. So any small thing, you just send the price list. And that's the reason why I'm making this episode. Because if you're going to get people to do business with you, so just rewind. Come and see the angle I'm coming from. The angle I'm coming from is, okay, between you and me, vendor, let's look at this and let me see what can work. If I think it can work, I will now plug you direct with this babe so that both of you now, you guys will be having a conversation. From there, you now seal the deal. So that's the angle me I'm coming from. Let me hook you guys up, phone call to phone call, WhatsApp to WhatsApp. You guys now just carry the conversation and be going. Of course, since you're like coming through me, it will be kind of like an endorsement, sort of a referral or a recommendation. So for me, what I was recommending was conversation first. And this is why. If you want someone to do business with you, whether you're going to do it on your custom terms, in this case, the guy has silver, bronze, so I can't remember, was it gold, silver, and bronze package, or platinum package, something like that. So whether it's your standard terms, or whether you're going to get someone to do business with you on custom terms, so you take your price list and you remove something, you add something, that sort of thing. Getting people to do business with you requires that people should know you, should like you, and should trust you. If you've been hanging around on social media for the last 5-10 years, it's something you've heard over and over again. Let's just call it know, like, and trust. People should know you, they should like you, they should trust you. Now, let me ask you one question. You, dear listener, listening to the podcast right now, you just reason it. If you're just sending a price list, can a price list get somebody to know you? Can a price list get somebody to like you? Can a price list get someone to trust you? Think about it. Sending over that wonderfully prepared, beautiful, exquisite PDF that has been designed with all the colors and all the everything, can that thing get someone to know you, to like you, or to trust you? The answer is no. The packaging is wonderful and the packaging is brilliant. But that is not going to allow this price list or this term sheet or this whatever it is you call it, is not going to allow this thing to sell on your behalf. No. It gives a good impression. Don't get me wrong. If you prepare your price list, you just go to Business Center, you print it on normal A4 paper, and you do single line spacing, that kind of thing. But then somebody else comes and it's designed wonderfully in Corel Draw, and they print it and they laminate it and they emboss it and they everything. Yes, looking at the two proposals, it definitely does make an impression. Especially in the Nigerian context. People will look at those things and say, this person is more professional, even though you might be better. But the thing is, let us stop relying on the document to do the selling for us. A document cannot get somebody to know me as a professional, to like me as a person, or to trust me that I am competent and I have the skills to handle the situation. That is the reason why I always recommend conversation first. And that is the reason why if I'm always trying to hook somebody up for anything, I always try to plug this thing, conversation first. Unfortunately, Nigerians have this habit of price list. By the way, it's not bad. Anyway, so this is the reason why I recommend conversation first. Conversation first allows you to feel the person out, because it's not everybody that your spirit will flow with. There are some people that the moment you open their mouth, you know that, this baby, she's yarning, I know that there will be problem. So that you can escape it now. Instead of collecting money, so let's say you said 700, 900, they end up paying 1M. But yes, you collect that 1M, but then that 1M, you're going to work blood, sweat, and tears to justify that 1M. So there's some situations where, you feel the person out. The person comes to your studio, you go to their house, or you pick up the phone, you know that, this will be a problem. Let me just fashion. Conversation first. You'll be able to feel the person out. You know who the customer is. You know what vision they have. You know what problem it is that they're trying to solve. Because this whole thing of sending price sheets, because think about it, you send price sheet 900K, they say, okay, 900K, no problem. Then they transfer 900 to you. Then you now carry yourself to Imo State. And then, I was talking to people who are already in Imo. So you now show up in the villa. And then, one or two things start materializing that you didn't quite plan for. So maybe in that 900K now, you didn't factor in red carpet, but then they decide that they're going to have red carpet. But maybe you only came with a crew of 2 people. So for that red carpet, you might need a third person. On your own end now, that's extra costs. Because, of course, you have to, call your boys in the capital that, look, man, this is what we've seen. So I beg, just catch the next bus or take an Uber. Come down to so village. Quick. We need you. In this whole thing of sending price list and proposal and stuff like that, these are the small things that we miss. In a conversation, you can tease out these things very easily. So, excuse me. Because in a simple conversation, you can tell her that, oh, okay, so the plan is on Friday morning we'll come, excuse me, then from here to here we'll do this, we'll do that. It's something that will come up easily. Oh, what about red carpet? And you say, oh, will there be red carpet? You say, yes, now, of course there'll be red carpet. Oh, okay, sure, no problem. Red carpet, we can handle that, but it's going to cost you extra because we'll have to bring one more person. We'll have to hire an umbrella and get one more camera. You can see that when it's conversation, you can see how these things just come up easy. Unlike when you want to just send the price list, let them look, let them select, and then they now transfer money to you. Have the conversation first. Feel them out. Figure them out. Who is this person? What's the vision? What's the problem? Where are they going to? Figure out their priorities. Some people just want physical memento from the burial. Anyhow, somebody showed up and we have one book. Some people, that's all they want. Other people want a wow factor for the burial. That, look, my father was this, and that. So we need to have like 10 photographers, paroling the premises, each of them carrying an umbrella. We have to make photo book for each branches of the family. So that would be like 7 photo books. We'll have drone. We'll have LED screen. We'll have every, my father was a this, my father was a that, the first level chief. This has to be a wow something. You're not going to know this if you just send the price list like that. You're only going to be able to figure this thing out if you're having a conversation with the person. Based on what the babe is saying or what the guy is saying, you'll now be able to know that, oh, okay. What's that expression? Is it Ezigbo one? Anyway, forgive me. My Igbo is atrocious. Although I try and speak Igbo because my mother-in-law is Igbo, so I like to impress her once in a while. I just show up and say something like, I'm learning. So that's how you know that, okay, this is the situation. It's from having a conversation. You just sending price list, you're not going to be able to know what these sorts of things are. There are some people who, for them, the main thing is they want to participation from friends and family. Because you know how these things are now. All of us, like our families are scattered. Even you listening to this podcast, I'm sure your own family is scattered. You might be here in Abuja, somebody's in Maiduguri, maybe 5 or 6 other people have Japa, that kind of thing. So not everybody's going to be able to come home for the burial. So for some people, that's what they're trying to prioritize. When are we going to, are we going to live stream the thing? How soon can we have the video so we can upload the link, let everybody see what was going down, that sort of thing. But the thing is, you will not know all of this stuff if all you do is first you send the price list. And then the person looks at the menu and then picks what they think works. That's the reason why I say conversation first. Now, even though I am using wedding photography, burial. Even though I'm using burial or event photo and video as the example, it is the same in your business. Whether you register businesses for people with CAC, it is the same. Pick up the phone and call the person. Hello, I got your number from Nkechi. Nkechi said you want to register a business. She thinks I'm going to be of help. That's the reason why I'm calling. Is this a good time to talk, or you want me to call you back later? Okay, no problem. What line of business do you do? What kind of business are you setting up? Have you given some thought about legal structures? Blah, blah, blah. As in, you have a conversation. Don't just get the number from Nkechi and then you now just send the person a WhatsApp message with price list. That if you used to register business name, 400k. Register business name plus this, 800k. Business name plus this, plus that, 1.5M. What do you think? Of course, the person is going to look and say, which is the cheapest option that I can get away with? But calm down first. Pick up the phone or pick up your WhatsApp, chat the person, engage in a conversation, and try and figure out what's going on. It is after you have done all that that you can now be sending price list. I'm not saying we shouldn't be using price list though. I'm just saying all these fancy things that we prepare, it should not be the start of the process. We should send it either in the middle or send it at the end. That's all I'm saying. When you have a conversation now, based on the information that you gather, that is how you'll be able to now make a convincing presentation or a convincing argument on which package would be appropriate. Think about it. After you have had this conversation and you now know exactly what it is that they're looking for, you can now open up your folder, open up your binder, and put the thing in front of them and say, based on everything that we've been saying, this platinum package, this is what we'll do. And this is why. Because that time you are saying this and saying this and saying this part of the platinum package covers it. The red carpet and the this and the this and the that, this part of the platinum package covers it. When you are saying this and this and that, this covers this covers that. And I really think, based on what we've discussed, that this is going to be the best package for you. You see how you're going to be able to make a convincing proposal? Because, excuse me, you called first and had conversation, or you went to the office first and had conversation, or you pinged back and forth and you had a conversation, instead of just sending the price list first. So, have a conversation. That's where you get all the information that would allow you to make a convincing argument or a convincing presentation. And if you're going to customize one of your packages, it's from having the conversation that you will know how you customize this thing. Now, most importantly, remember what I said in the beginning about know, like, and trust. Now, for someone to do business with you, especially for those of us who are service professionals. So I'm not talking to people now who sell human hair, for instance. Because if you're selling human hair, packaging is important, but how will I put it? If it is Mauritian human hair that you're selling 57 inches, I guess 57 inches is 57 inches. Mauritian human hair is Mauritian human hair. By the way, I don't know if babes buy human hair from Mauritius. I'm just freestyling here. So I'm just saying that for those of you who sell goods, maybe this thing doesn't apply. But for we service professionals, the last episode I was talking about someone who is in the business of registering businesses with CAC. If you're a lawyer, you register businesses with CAC. You're an accountant, you do people's taxes. You're a photographer, you go and shoot weddings. You're an artist, you go and paint people. You're a business consultant, you help people boost their sales. If you're a service-based person, conversation first, because this will allow the client to get a sense of you and your personality. You guys, think about this. You've been listening to the podcast. For better or for worse, you guys have certain ideas about me. So there are some of you that will listen to the podcast and you say, God forbid, I will never work with someone like this. I mean, it's cool. That's part of the idea of the podcast. So that people who don't feel me, let them fade. Let nobody come and give me a headache. So that anybody who's listening to the podcast and decides to hit me up, the person knows exactly what it is that they're getting into. Because they have a sense of me, my expertise, and my personality. So if you're a service professional, another reason why I say conversation first, people will get a sense of your personality. They will get a sense of your professionalism. They'll be able to size you up. Know how much knowledge you have. Know how much expertise you have. It's from the conversation that you're going to be able to give these people vibes. Now, okay, I can trust this guy, or I can trust this babe, or this is my kind of person, or this babe, this accountant, she's the very babe, or this lawyer, correct lawyer. You'll be able to get the right kind of cues from them, and they will also be able to get the right kind of cues from you, so that both of you can decide, should we even be doing business with each other or not? Okay, this is 30 minutes. I've spoken too much. Basically, what I'm trying to say is this. The main point is never start this process by sending your standardized price list. Create the price list, make it look nice, but never start off the conversation by sending that. Your standard price list and your packages should come either in the middle of the conversation or at the end of the conversation. My own personal preference, some of you won't believe this, I only send in written material after we have finished talking every. That is when I send proposal or invoice or something. I only send it when it is a done deal. So I'm sending it as per formality. Shall I have this thing for your records? Let this thing be in writing. That's how I prefer to do it. In fact, some clients send me the money first. And some people I send the invoice, 2-3 days later. So for me, the paperwork is the last thing. I never start off with the paperwork. Should you have set price terms? So that's what some people say. Are you saying that I should get rid of price terms? No, I'm not saying that. Yes, you should set your price terms. But that you should use that to guide the conversation with the potential client. Just make sure it's not the first thing that you send. So please, the people that are supposed to take note of this are service-based professionals. Photographer, pay attention. Video people, pay attention. Caterers, pay attention. MC, pay attention. Accountant, pay attention. Architect, pay attention. Engineers, pay attention. So basically, that's just what I'm going to say. Or rather, that's just what I wanted to say for today's episode. Let me just do small role play, just so that you guys can hear me out properly, in case there's some people who are still not convinced. So this is the kind of conversation that usually happens. The potential customer will reach out to the client, or potential client will reach out and say, "Hi, I got your number from Chinaza. Are you available for December 13th? The vendor will now say, "Yes, I am." The client will now say, "How much do you charge?" The vendor will now send price list. And then the customer will say, "Okay, let me think about it. I'll get back to you." And that's how our conversation ends. If I'm saying something that is a lie, let me know. But usually that's how it happens, at least in the event space. "Hello, I got your number from Chinaza. Are you available December 13th? "Oh, yes, I'm available. How much do you charge?" I send you price list. "Okay, let me think about it. I'll get back to you." You now complain that you're in ghost mode. What should people do instead? This is what you should do. Customer reaches out. "Hi, I got your number from Chinaza. Are you available for December 13th? You respond. "Hi, thank you for reaching out. Which Chinaza? Is it Chinaza Ekweremadu or Chinaza Ehenacho?" And then she will respond. Is Chinaza Ehenacho? And you respond, Chinaza, she's my very person. How is she now? You say, "Oh, she's fine. No, she's my cousin." Say, correct. We're family already. You're my sister now. So my sister, how can I help you? You can see that if you guys are having a conversation, you can see how you can be building the vibe and building the rapport. If all you do is just send price list, is this kind of conversation possible? You've already gotten some intel now. Anyway, let me continue. So, she will now ask, "Are you available December 13th? In this case, you respond. You have to play up whatever connections you find. Say, "Sure. Even if I have something on December 13th, your Chinaza sister, no problem. I'll show up for you." Then you now start asking questions. So how many people are we planning for now? Or what are we doing? What are we doing? What about this? What about this? What about that? So you can see that when we start things out this way, and you now send price list in the middle or in the end, if nothing else, they remember you. In the first scenario where you just send price list, just like that, because trust me, if you do that, I know that 3 or 4 people have already done it. At the end of the day, she's just looking at all the price lists, and she will just pick the person that is the cheapest, or she will look at the price list and determine on, based on which one has the better packaging. Even though you might be the most qualified to serve them, and even though you might be the best. So, I made this podcast episode not to say we should abandon our prices. Please, stick to your prices. I do not even like discounting. I always preach against discounting. But please, do not start your process by sending the price list. Price list should come in the middle, or price list should come at the end. In fact, for me, I do not even remember the last time I even had a price list. I have not sent anybody a price list in, I don't know how many years. So those documents, I don't even have those documents. So we have the conversations. As soon as I think it's a done deal, yes, then I now send something in writing, so that at least the terms are clear, and then I don't know, some security. Well, and then also just to be sure that, majorly just to be sure that the terms of reference are clear, exactly what it is that we're going to do. So that's it pretty much. If you'd love to connect with me for a strategy session, for a business audit, or you have some questions, the WhatsApp number to reach me on is 080-6466-2140. Country code is +234. You can also call me on the number, but send a text message first. Or rather, send a text message after you try calling if I don't answer. Then connect with me on LinkedIn. The name to look for is Tavishima Ayede. I also have a YouTube channel, the same name. Thanks for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next episode.